Listen, I don't know if you've ever been outside and you said, listen, it is so hot. Let me call up some fake folk so that I can be around some shade. Sadly enough, that is oftentimes how life has become for us. And we have to get to a particular place that we're not trying to take advice or inventory or expect fruit from trees that don't have any fruit. All they do is throw shade. And here's the thing, if you're going to do anything in life, expect pushback. If you're going to do anything significant, anything of value, anything that is going to push people full steam ahead, here's what you have to expect. Expect and anticipate pushback. But here's what you got to do. You got to continue to push forward. You ain't got to push them back. Just push forward. Push full steam ahead with what it is that you've been called to do. And that's why today we're going to talk about no more shade. Block what blocks your shine. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. How to block what blocks your shine. One of the things I realize is that there's a scripture that mentions in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 12, says, now we see through a glass darkly, then face to face. Now we see through a glass darkly. And a lot of times we're going through life dealing with shady circumstances, dealing with shady people. And now we find ourselves living in shade. We find ourselves living in shadows. We find ourselves meandering, if not even walking through the valley of the shadow of death. Here's what I love about even just that valley of the shadow of death, that is just a shadow. It's not really real. It's not really substantive. And when we are looking through smudged lenses, when we're looking through dark, cloudy situations, we have to take inventory of our life to see why it is that we are where we are. That scripture says, now we see through a glass darkly. Here's the fact of the matter. So many times life has become so turbulent and tempestuous, and you are dealing with so much trepidation, tribulation, that now all you see are dark times. When you literally should be walking in the light, a lot of times we're just looking at life through the lens of trauma. We're looking at life through the lens of trials. We're looking at life through the lens of how people don't like you and the pushback that you get because you're starting something new, and the fact that it doesn't seem to be working for you. A lot of times we're looking at life through a dim lens, and we go through life, here it is, with shades on. This is how we go through life living. A lot of times we're going through life, living our life, looking through the darkness of life. Going through life, looking through the lens of trauma, looking through the lens of pain, looking through the lens of a heartbreak and a heartache, looking through the lens of that which is so distorted. Wearing shades that are smudged because you've allowed everybody else to put their hands on your vision, and now you don't even know where you are. You're literally like a person in a dark room looking for a black cat that's not even there. You have got to take off the shades despite the shady circumstances and situations that life is in many cases imposed on you, to where So many times you're looking through a glass darkly. You're going to see life differently wearing translucent glasses than you would sunglasses. You're wearing your sun blockers. And in many cases, what you got to do, you got to let the light in now. You got to think bigger than ever before. Number one, you got to turn the light on in your mind. You got to have some illuminating thoughts. Just because other people don't like it, just because other people are trying to throw shade, doesn't mean that you're going to allow that shade to impose a darkness on your situation, a darkness that now imposes a dilemma, a darkness on your destination that now leads you to a detour to destruction. Get back in the driver's seat of your mind. Turn on the light. You turn on the light with what it is that you say. You turn on the light with what it is that you think and how it is that you think. You turn on the light by thinking critically in chaotic times. It's what Dr. King said. He said, only when it is darkest can you see the stars. Only when it is darkest can you see the stars. And you have to be the star that's going to shine in dark times. The darker this world gets, what are you going to do to shine brighter? What are you going to invent to shine brighter? What are you going to develop to shine brighter? What are you now going to ingratiate and institute? And how are you going to instruct the next generation so that they can shine brighter? Got to take off the blue blockers, got to take off the sunshades, got to take off the sunglasses. You got to take off the shady circumstance of what it is that people see you. And you got to shift your mindset to another level. Here's what you have to do. Secondly, you have to adjust your vision. Here's what I understand. When you change the way that you look at things, the things that you look at change. We've oftentimes heard life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react to it. But here's what I'd like to take it to another degree. 90% of the time, we often focus on the 10%, to where now the 10% becomes 100% of our lives. The pain, the divorce, the diagnosis, the dilemma, the heartbreak and the heartache, the betrayal, the people who were pushing back at you and now throwing shade on you. Just 10%, as hurtful and as painful as it was, your father not being there. People who you thought were going to heal you and help you wound up hurting you and harming you. As painful as it was just 10%. Here's the question. What will you do with the remaining 90? What will you do with the 90% that you have remaining? Or will you allow the 10% to become 100% of your life? You got to make a decision. You've got to enable and stand 10 toes down to inculcate a declaration to say, this is how I'm going to live my life. This is how I'm going to thrive in dark times. I am going to change my perspective. And for me to change my perspective, here's what I have to do. I've got to remove the shades. I've got to remove this. I got to get rid of this. I got to get rid of the shades of trauma. Here's what I got to do. I got to open up the shades so I can let some light in. The shades are what is blocking you and your blessing. It's blocking you from getting to the next level. Because you keep seeing through a glass darkly. And now is the time to enlighten yourself. Now's the time to illuminate your mind. Now's the time to take your life from where it is that you are to where you can be. It's in you. You can do it. Last but not least, here's what you got to do. You've got to hit the block button. Hit the block button on the phone. Hit the block button on social media. Block what blocks you. Block what is blockading your next level. Block what is blockading your upward mobility. Block what is blocking your blessings. I got to put my hand up. No, it can't stay here. It can't inhabit my space. It can't live in my face. I'm going to give whatever is trying to inculcate and ravage my mind. I'm giving it an eviction. Because I'm making a declaration. I'm making a decision to say, this is how I'm going to live my life. Negative people, block them. Naysayers, block them. Come on. And here's the thing. Sometimes you just may not even block them from your social media. You may not necessarily block them from your website. You may not block them for whatever it is because you want them to see what it is that how you're going to come up. But block them from your mindset. Use the negative steam to power your dream. Whatever's trying to block you, you block it. Sometimes the greatest hater is not on the outside, it's on the inside. Oftentimes the greatest enemy is the inner me. And you got to get the victory over that. You got to get the victory over what keeps you under. Everything that's been over your head that's negative, you got to now put it under your feet. Got to step on it. Got to speak life over your life. You got to go after it. You got to make it happen by any means necessary. No more shade. Why? Because you are the light of the world. You've been called to be the light. You've been called to bring the light. Whatever it is dark, whenever it is dark, it's calling for you to shine. That's what it's time for you to do. Listen, I want you, because I know I can transform your life in a greater way. I know I've got the tools, the requisite resources that can transform your life to make more, become more, do more. And I know I'm talking to you. I want you to open up the digital door of my amazing Eagles community. I want you to join my community. All you have to do is just go to theeaglesacademy.com, theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the join now button, fill out the form. Once you'll be transformed in my coaching, my teaching, my training sessions that go above and beyond what it is that I do here. It's just a snapshot, sneak peek preview of the greater things that I do even in my community. And I'm inviting you to join me. You can do that right now, theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the join now button, fill out the form. I guarantee you're going to be transformed. I know you were transformed by this conversation. Yes, a conversation of illumination, a conversation that has lit your mind to another level, cause you to think differently and to go after it by any means necessary. Since you were transformed, I want you to drop a love gift. I want you to send a love donation in support of this show and also the work that I continue to do locally, nationally, and globally in the community as well. Cash App $Dr. Eddie Ministries is how you can give a love gift, a donation. Cash App $Dr. Eddie Ministries, PayPal, info@EddieConnor.com, and then even on Zelle, EddieConnorJr @gmail.com. Link is in the chat. Link is in the description of this video for how and where to give. Family, hit that thumbs up button on this video. Hit the subscribe button. I hope this show has been a blessing for show. Let me know what you thought about the show. Let me know what you think about the show in the comments below. Yeah, let me know what you think about the show in the comments below. You know I got to go. It's yours truly, Dr. Eddie, your main man, 100 grand, your brother. And I mean that from another mother. Family has been fun, but you know a brother got to run. So I want you to know it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure. But I want you to remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, brighter, peace, and a whole lot of love. Yeah. Take off them shades and keep soaring higher. I want you to go ahead and get your hands on my new book, Know Your No. It's all about how to build healthy boundaries and love without losing yourself. Boundaries are not limitations. Boundaries are for liberation. You're going to find a way to unbox yourself. You're going to find a way to really love yourself and to move into a place of emotional regulation, to stand your ground, to draw a line in the sand, stand 10 toes down on it. Don't do the electric slide. Don't moonwalk away from it, but really stand wholeheartedly down on what it is that you say. It's for your protection. It's for your self-care. Moves you into a greater place of self-awareness and emotional regulation and developing your mental health and creating boundaries so that you can abound to a new and a greater level. Go right now to get a signed copy at EddieConnor.com. CONNOR.com. And then, of course, you can also get it on Amazon. Go and get the book right